Hey everybody, welcome to Friday Fire. It's a little bit late. Please let me know if I have enough bandwidth. Thank you, Clint. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Preston, for being here. And I hope I got a little check going on here. I hope it works. We'll give it a shot. So let's jump in. I'll make this very fast. This one is called Friday Fire, and it's not raining, which is awesome. But let's jump in. You don't need to see me, but you can know that I am here. And we're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. We're going to talk about the arms race for Bitcoin, but anemic on-chain data, and a couple of AI things that are very interesting, as well as stackers. Who was stacking out there? And some ETH and Sol news too. Let's get into it. Not financial advice. Thank you to everybody as well on Patreon. Best crypto channel, period. James always comes with good data, man. Keep me calm even in the madness. Recommended page. Thank you so much, and thank you to the team behind me. I love doing this. Anyway, and I do want to apologize. The market is kind of uncertain, and markets hate one thing, and that is uncertainty. Because we have uncertainty, people don't know where we're going next. Therefore, prices don't go up. They go down or they are flat. And that's exactly where we are. You see that with fear and greed. Literally, we were 76 last week. Now we're 44. And that's for crypto. And for stocks, we're back to fear mode. We were in neutral and greed mode a few days ago. Now we're back. But let's get into the story today. And let me know if, by the way, in the chat, I'm watching that on the side of my eye. Let me know if you can hear me okay in the car. But first of all, Bitcoin adoption is faster than the internet. We kind of knew this, but it is a very, very good sign. And we know there will be more adoption. And that's very important because what I'm going to talk about next is, you could argue, a little bit disconcerting. And as you know, Metcalfe's law, I'm a big fan of, I'm a believer in, but without adoption, there is no network value. Let's check this chart out from CryptoQuant. Here, you can see Bitcoin activity is in the toilet. It's at a one-year low after 2024 November high. The index is now at 3,760. That's the lowest level since Feb 2024. It's Feb 2025. And the activity on the Bitcoin network has declined, and nobody's doing much. Thank you, Dirk, as well, for coming. Dirk Diggler is out there. Now, the problem is, Bitcoin is a store of value, so I don't equate it to other types of cryptos or blockchains. However, not happening on the chain is also not a good thing. So we have to watch this very carefully. But why does it matter? Well, the amount of activity, the amount of users determine the value of a network. Hence this. This is a cool chart that shows you Bitcoin's Metcalfe Valuation Bands. I'm so happy somebody did this so I don't have to keep mine up to date. But per this, Bitcoin's fair value lies between 48,000 and 95,000. They are the red and the blue Metcalfe Valuation Bands from a network activity perspective. But remember, Bitcoin is not really something that people use to play with like other blockchains. So it's a little bit different. But at the current price of, what are we at, like 94K, 95K, Bitcoin appears overvalued considering it is traded between the red and the blue Metcalfe Valuation Band since Feb 2024. But remember this, the activity is at the lowest level we've seen in a year. And remember, it's also a store of value. So if, by the way, hypothetically speaking, you've got Solana with nearly 7 million daily active users versus Bitcoin, it shows you that Metcalfe's law doesn't always work. If it did, Solana would be an awful lot higher. Now, let's get back to adoption for Bitcoin, because this is a huge story. Now we have 21 states of America trying to file for a strategic Bitcoin reserve, which is pretty bunkers. Guth Gotham, thank you so much. And Magandan Hapon, Gabi Umaga, I don't know what time it is in Manila. Shout out to American Beijing'er. So that was, I just exhausted all my Tagalog. But the point is here, every single state is coming fast. Let's look at a few. First of all, I do believe Utah will be the first state to adopt a strategic Bitcoin reserve. and it is passed in the House. Now it's off to the Senate, which will be a slam dunk, and then it needs to be signed by the governor. Then we are done. Then all these other greens and yellows will say, hey, guys and gals, we have to move faster. Thank you, Dirk, again. We have to move faster, because if you're not first, you're last, and Utah will be first, and shake and bake, which I don't even know what shake and bake means, but it's a fun movie, and I love the expression, if you ain't first, you're last. But other states too. Thank you, Deluxe Bear in Australia. The 14th largest economy in the world just filed for a strategic Bitcoin reserve as well. This is the state of Florida. Texas, I think, is about to become the 6th largest economy in the world too. So we have to wait for Texas too. But Texas is on there already. But it's not just Florida. Now, here comes Maryland, very close to DC, where there's a lot of activity right now. They have also just filed for a Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Act of Maryland. And again, it's all coming. But if that wasn't enough, guess what? The Kentucky Derby is on. Literally, Utah is in the lead, but Kentucky now files to a bill to invest 10% of their state funds in Bitcoin. Nothing stops this train from the Bitcoin conference. Again, this is absolutely insane. These things will topple, I do believe, like dominoes, and they will bring a lot of money into the Bitcoin space. DBF 430, I really appreciate you as well. But this is a crazy time to witness all of this happening. And what happens when you have the 6th largest economy in the world, Texas, adopting Bitcoin, and the 14th largest economy, Florida, adopting Bitcoin, and then you the Czech Republic, and then maybe Switzerland? Then things will kick off. Yes, it's a rocky period right now. Yes, we are chop-solidating again between $90,000 and $100,000. And yes, people are freaking out, calling for a $70,000 Bitcoin. But anyway, life goes on. And, you know, the way you make money in the markets is you have to be patient and survive the storms. And let's celebrate as well. Guy for Super Chat, and Sir and Dragon too. And I've seen you before. Let's talk about MicroStrategy as well, because this is a Sharpe ratio. I work a lot with the Sharpe ratio. I have done for decades now, and numbers don't lie. So basically, Bitcoin as a corporate treasury asset is an undeniable advantage. This is MicroStrategy as a Sharpe ratio of 5.38, and it's lapping competitors like Tesla, 1.74, Meta, 1.73, NVIDIA, 1.41 on risk-adjusted return basis. This balances the amount of risk you assume with the return you get. You want it to be high. You want your risk to be low and your return to be high. When you have a high score, you are crushing it. Okay? So this is super interesting. And we'll see if it continues. But you know what else is happening? And this is what I think Michael Saylor knows. Not just all these states looking to stack Bitcoin and all the nations around the world, but then this week alone, just this week, you have Semler Scientific snagged an additional 871 Bitcoin. They now have 3,200. Bitfarms, 218 Bitcoin. Matador, 3.5 Bitcoin, which is nothing. And Genius Group, 20 Bitcoin, up to 440. Some of these companies are very, very small. But again, they're the pacemakers setting the trend for the future. So watch this very carefully. As I said, in mid to, I think it was September or earlier 2024, I said treasuries would be the next big thing. And here we are. They're happening. Anyway, this is a fun piece of history from Les Sharpe from the NFL. So football fans are watching Bitcoin. But this is funny. When, first place, I don't know what competition this was for StarCraft tournament. I have no idea even what that is. But first place got $500, second place $250, third place $150, fourth place $100, and fifth to eighth place, which is the participation prize, got 25 Bitcoin. That's mad. $2.5 million versus fourth place $100, and that's when Bitcoin was trading at literally a couple of dollars. Crazy times. Anyway, this proves as well, sometimes it's good to just hold on to stuff as well. Now, Tornado Cash Founder released more good news. We're getting all of the people who are locked up who are now being released. And his name is Alexei Pritsev. And he's out and he's free. And Tornado Cash helps you maintain your privacy in crypto. And he was locked up because governments didn't want people retaining their privacy, which I thought, yeah. Anywho, moving on. Congratulations to Alexei for being out. Speaking of, ETH is back, but not in a good sense. It's back to being inflationary. So it was supposed to be ultrasound money deflationary for the rest of its time. Well, that's not the case. Since the merge now, ETH is now inflationary, which was, again, the whole idea of the merge was to make the supply deflationary. Anyway, this is the per Joe Consorti. He said, not my words, his. This is the slow and painful death of Ethereum. Anyway, things change, technology changes, things move forward. Now, speaking of newer technology, this is from Eric Balchunas. The Sol ETF is getting an SEC response after being labeled as security by the old Gary Gensler corrupt SEC. Now they are talking, and there's lots of rumors flying around today about Larry Fink saying Sol ETF will be out in a month. I don't believe that, but it got a lot of people excited. But anyway, we are in new territory, which is good news, and it's only a matter of time. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when the Sol ETF comes. It's going to be good for everybody. Speaking of Solana, I tend to talk about winning assets here, so deeply sorry if it offends you, but I also always say the winner takes most, as always. And now, this cycle, this bull cycle of the last 3 years, has a clear winner, and it's left Ethereum in the dust. Solana does now more than 60% of crypto DEX volume. And Ethereum used to be the leader in the space. They've shriveled to just 12%. Last cycle, Ethereum was dominant. That's why things change. That's why I stress keep your tap dancing shoes. What's also interesting as well, not only does the winner take most, but the top 5 chains make up over 95% of all DEX volume. Okay? And after that, number 6 onwards, they don't matter. All right? It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy how, again, you got a couple of players, 5 chains do 95%, 1 chain does 60%. And that's just the way of the world. Now, people will say, oh, but it's all bots. No. Nope. Solana's averaging about 4 million plus traders per day, unique wallets over the last 30 days. And 98% of these wallets appear to be managed by humans. Yes, there are still bots exist. There are still algos that exist out there. Algos are bots. They exist in traditional markets as well. But there's also a damn lot of unique people out there too. So the question is, when will it come? Hey, Piper. Sorry for being so late today. Now, a little bit of AI news, because AI is the revolution that will impact us all. The big AI recovery is underway. Amazon is back, Microsoft, Google, Meta, as well as NVIDIA off the bottom. But what's going on? There was a big amount of news today. We have a player that was always a laggard. You know, Amazon had something called Alexa, which is pretty crappy AI for many years. Google Assistant was far better, but guess who's doubling down now on AI? And that is Amazon. When Microsoft said they were going to invest $80 billion in AI, infra, and H100s, etc., people were shocked. But guess what? Amazon say they want to go heavy and invest $100 billion in CapEx for 2025. They see this, and remember, write this down. Amazon see this as an urgent, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get in and win. There's no, again, like I showed here, it doesn't help to be in second place. You got to win. To win, you need a lot of investment in chips, in compute. And the CEO, Andy Jassy, said most of this CapEx spend will go into Amazon Web Services as well. And it's crazy. And this is all in spite of DeepSeek, etc. So we'll see where this goes. And there's other things happening too. There is maybe, allegedly, maybe just a theory, maybe Amazon and Palantir are getting in bed together. Andy Jassy as well mentioned on the call that Palantir is tapping into Amazon's Nova Gen AI models, slashing AI costs by 75% and accelerating adoption across Gotham, which is for defense, and Foundry, which is for enterprise, and AIP for AI. So we'll see what happens. We shall see exactly what happens next between Palantir and AWS. And Palantir has been on fire. It's been quite incredible. It's trading at a PE of 563 and a Guru Focus fair value of $19. So again, sometimes things are crazy, but maybe this AI revolution is something very special. Who knows? You're talking to somebody who lived through the dot-com bust, but I do believe AI has legs. And Dan Ives came out. I don't think it's the most I've ever spoken about Amazon. Amazon was very exciting years ago, but now I'm getting excited about it again. Dan Ives comes out with a $280 price target on Amazon because of the amount they are investing in AI and commercialization of AI capabilities in Alexa. I don't think Alexa's going to make it. We shall see. But then Project Cooper is on deck. And to be honest, I have not researched Project Cooper yet. Let's check out Amazon, though. It does appear to be significantly overvalued based on this chart here. $165, but Dan thinks it's going to 280. Who knows? We'll watch carefully. Now, there's other stuff too. I believe, and many others believe too, the biggest AI player on the planet, real world AI and AGI, is Tesla. They now have a truckload of cash, $36 billion of melting ice cubes. I believe they need to buy Bitcoin again or hedge their fiat holding. It's way, way too much. Speaking of more big tech as well, Apple has kind of fallen behind in everything, but they do have some innovation with a new invite service as well that is kind of comical. But this is scary. And sorry to our friends in the UK who might be asleep right now, but the UK government wants Apple to give them secret access to all Apple users' private data and keep track of every website users visit. So imagine if you're in the UK and you're on your Apple iPhone or device and you watch a video on X that may be frowned upon from the UK government. Yeah, well, they now know what you watch. They want to know what you watch. They want to watch very closely. And this is, I think, a big violation of privacy. And there are some rules that could perhaps get you into hot water as well. So I don't know. The reason I mention this is this could ding Apple sales, Apple stock sales in the UK. But in all honesty, I think Microsoft has been sharing information with the government for a long time. So who cares? B-Man, good to see you, buddy. It's Friday, everybody. And final piece. I hate ending on a sad note, so I won't. But I do want people to realize exactly what's happening. So you may think, this is a US data here. Shout out as well to Sanjay. You may think your wage has gone from $1,000, $1,050 to $1,225 since January 2021. But in reality, you are earning 16.8% less after debasement. People think they're earning more, but they'll find out their paycheck goes less far. And this is the chart that proves that, yes, your salary is going up, your wage is going up, but you are buying less. And on that sad note, ask for a pay raise, of course, when you can. But I'll finish with meme of the day. Babe, will you please sell so we're millionaires? A lot of people have a nice bag, 10 Bitcoin, and you're a millionaire pretty much. No, we must make them pay. There's different ways to interpret this, but sometimes people that know where this thing is going, especially with all the data that I share, yes, the markets can be rough and they can be hard and depressing and everything else, but the future is bright. I maintain that. Thank you all for coming. I hope it worked in the car, but I appreciate you all for being here. And yes, we made it. I don't even know. Is this even a thing? I think, yes. I've never done that before. I somehow pressed on a button accidentally. It did something weird. Thank you all for coming. I'll get back to driving now. And yes, you should always take some profits. Maybe not too much. And always hold on to winning assets too. Kells, Dirk, everybody, Bottle of Red, got UK here, Bluegrass Stoic. I appreciate you all for coming. Sorry about not being in the studio, but I can't always be there all the time. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye. Now I don't even know what to do. Thank you.